Tuesday, Floyd Mayweather told ESPN's Stephen A. Smith via text he'd be willing to give Manny Pacquiao a rematch. Thursday, Money says he's changed his mind. I'm Phil Murphy, and I'm joined by ESPN boxing senior writer Dan Raphael. Dan, why the 180 for Mayweather just 2 days after first saying he would give Pacquiao a rematch?
I think really what it came down to is Floyd has been seeing all of the discussion about Manny Pacquiao's shoulder injury, the fact that he had the rotator cuff surgery, and he's annoyed because Mayweather is not getting the credit from Pacquiao that he thinks he deserves for beating him. He believes that what Pacquiao and his team is doing is simply making excuses for a one-sided loss against Floyd Mayweather on last Saturday night, and he's upset by it. And now he's saying, you know what, forget about him. I'm not going to give him a rematch because he's a sore loser.
Now, the first fight, May 2nd, was the highest payday in boxing history. How likely is it that we've seen or heard the last of a May-Pac rematch?
Well, look, Floyd has said himself, he contradicts himself at times. He's liable to change his mind tomorrow and say he will give him a rematch once again. I think Floyd is a brilliant salesperson when it comes to trying to push his fights on pay-per-view. He's been tremendous at it for many years, and maybe he feels that way right now, but also at the end of the day, he's going to take a look and think that and realize that there's no other payday that he can generate like he did against Pacquiao than by fighting Pacquiao again, no matter who else he fights. So I can understand why Mayweather is upset. The interview which he did with Jim Gray for Showtime as part of their delayed broadcast of the fight is where he told him these things that happened just a couple of days ago. So Pacquiao's discussion of his shoulder is sort of fresh in his mind, so it was obviously something that irritated him. And, Floyd's not one to hold his tongue. He told Jim Gray what he thought, and what he thought at that moment was after texting Stephen A., he had a second look at it and decided, you know what, if he's going to be such a sore loser, why should I give him a rematch? He said he lost a lot of respect for Pacquiao because of the excuses that he's been making.
You mentioned Mayweather's marketing acumen. How likely is it that this might just be a way to try and drum up interest in a rematch where a lot of the public seemed to have lost interest in it earlier this week?
I mean, listen, that's possible. Whether the rematch happens or it doesn't happen, it wouldn't be for about a year from now at the earliest anyway, because Pacquiao just had the shoulder surgery that's going to keep him out for what his doctor says is probably between 9 months and 1 year. So the earliest the rematch would happen would be not until probably like next April, next May, at that time frame. And so now Mayweather would have to decide, is he going to take another fight in September where he said he was going to, or did he just lay off and count all that money that he made on last Saturday night and look to a rematch when he calms down a little bit about the situation and realizes what he can make in a rematch and goes forward and tries to make the second fight sometime next spring.
Very possibly an ongoing situation. He is ESPN boxing senior writer Dan Raphael. Dan, thanks.
Thank you.
For more May-Pac fallout and all top boxing news, keep it locked on ESPN's boxing page on ESPN.com. For Dan Raphael, I'm Phil Murphy. Thanks for watching.